She has skin the color of perfectly made chai tea and dramatically dark brown eyes. Her hair is chestnut. It flows to the bottom of her shoulder blades, although one side of it is shaved. She has her own style. Birkenstocks with socks and jackets and joggers you can find in the men's section of Urban Outfitters. Her hands are soft and careful until she is mad. Then they are hard and deliberate. Her damn acrylic nails are dull on the ends and bruised instead of scratched. It was North Carolina Pride in my first year of college. Overall, everything was going pretty well. My hall seemed pretty cool, and I somehow got comfortable enough to make friends that invited me to go to Durham and celebrate Pride with them. A girl from my hall asked if she could come with us. Of course, we said yes. I was pretty pumped. I felt like it would let me actually become friends with someone on my hall better than just the classic icebreaker questions. Favorite color, fun fact, hometown, and siblings. She decided that we would go as pretend girlfriends. Equipped with a snapback and a bow tie, I had never looked so stereotypically gay in my life. Maya, wearing a Free the Nipple t-shirt and a rainbow helicopter hat, offered to drive. Soon, we started on the hour-and-a-half ride to Durham. The ride down was really fun. We blasted so much music my eardrums were throbbing. Who knew I remembered so many Jonas Brothers lyrics? My throat burned from the stress of screaming the words to the song Year 3000, but I didn't care. Today was going to be a good day. I never thought soulmates were a real thing. This notion of love at first sight and not being able to live without someone sounded like a badly written fairy tale. For me, I guess, it was love at first fight. Once we arrived, Maya took it upon herself to convince everyone that she was my girlfriend by screaming at me for just about anything I said. Simple questions like, "You hungry?" Screaming. My pleas for her to stop. "Maya, please don't." Screaming. Even compliments. "Maya, you look great today." Screaming. I could not have laughed harder. Her voice does this thing when she yells. It cracks and breaks, increasing the volume tenfold. It's a talent, really. Everyone around us was in awe of this crazy brown girl screeching at her confused girlfriend, and I was laughing so hard I was sure that my six-pack would soon be there. Her words say "I hate you," but her acting was never too good. Her eyes told me that she was having the time of her life. Standing there in a mass of people with her screaming at me, I knew that I had found my soulmate. We held hands for the first time that day. I remember knowing I'd be with this girl for the rest of my life. Platonically. I always thought that the love of my life would be packaged in rippling muscles, leather jackets, and a nice beard. Instead, it's a short brown girl that I call my best friend. Because of her, I know what unconditionally loving someone is like. Love is not having the perception of perfection projected upon someone. Love is rejecting perfection for someone who is there, who is real. Love is having a conversation with them and getting lost in their mannerisms, the way they speak. Love begins when you forget how to live without them and ends when you remember. Love is waking up in the morning with a smile because you know they exist. It's when you are looking at them and realize that there's no single person in this world that you would rather talk to until 5 in the morning, when you realize there's nobody else you would rather hold you when you cry. Love is what I feel every time I'm with Maya, and why I will never know how to live without her. Her eyes can be the happiest thing you've ever seen, and yet, in a second, morph into those of the most abandoned puppy. She makes me do her eyebrows, so obviously they're perfect. Her smile is so bright and wide that half her face disappears to give way to pearly whites. Her tears can cause the most heartbreaking feeling, as they soak through your shirt and wet your shoulder. Nothing on the planet should ever hurt her. It was 8 a.m., and breathing felt like a luxury I could not afford. Tears rolled out of my eyes, and my stomach clenched from the sobs that racked my body. I had just read a text that Maya had been admitted to the hospital. I felt like a failure. My best friend wanted to die, and there's nothing I could do to help. The next week smelled like Purell. The rehab hospital wasn't the most pleasant place. The fluorescent lights were harsh, and anything that could have been used to hurt oneself had been removed. No shoelaces, no utensils, no shower curtains, no toilet seats. I never really asked about that one. I didn't want to know. I remember hearing a lot of whispering in the hospital, from people without the consciousness to know who and what was not there. Maya felt so out of place. Have you ever seen the show Scared Straight? Yeah, it was basically like that. The day she came home was one of the more concerning days of my life. Wake Forest is not the most understanding about mental illness. What I mean by that is that they almost didn't let Maya come back, even though she admitted herself into the hospital. The rage that consumed me when I heard that, it's hard to put into words. The sensations, though, they're more concrete. My throat closed shut, my fists clenched so tightly that I think I still have marks from where my fingernails pierced my skin and went into my palm. Never understood separation anxiety until I met her. She can look like brokenness and torture sometimes. She hasn't had the best luck in life. When she cries, it's silent, tears streaming from her eyes as she insists that she's okay. Sometimes, her words can feel like a knife. Other times, like a warm blanket. She's a contradiction, and yet, she is my constant. Her weight on my bed makes a comfortable dip on its surface. It's Thursday night, and we've been talking about nothing for hours. She's just finished reading a draft of this very essay. She cried, but these tears didn't hurt my heart when they ran down my shoulder. These tears didn't feel like acid, rather like putting on fresh clothing that just came out of the dryer. She feels like the permanence I look for in all the wrong people, and for that I will forever be grateful. The rest of the night we lay and we talk about the house we're gonna buy. One wing for her and whomever she chooses to start a family with. One wing for me and my equivalent. But those wings matter so much less than the third wing. The third wing is our wing. The third wing will have a lifetime supply of chocolate milk and Cheerios. There will be comfy beanbag chairs, 2 queen-size beds right next to each other, a giant screen TV like the ones they have in the movie theater, a library of takeout menus, and most importantly, it's off limits to anybody but us. Maya is my consistency, my heart, and my future. Love takes many different forms. People always seem to forget platonic love, but I never will. Well, Maya will never let me.